Let's get real for a second. Most people lose the job in the first 10 minutes because they treat an interview like a standardized test, or worse, an interrogation. They ramble, they get defensive, and they miss the subtle psychological cues that actually lead to an offer. My name is Paul. As of 2026, I am officially entering my 16th year in the recruitment industry. I have seen the job market evolve through recessions, the AI revolution, and the shift to hybrid work. But the core human psychology of hiring remains exactly the same. People hire people they like, people they trust, and people who make their lives easier. If you want to stop hoping for a job and start choosing your employer, you need to master these 10 foundational pillars of the interview. Stick around until the very end of this video, because I'm going to give you my proprietary, future-proof closing framework. This is a specific sequence of 3 questions that ensures you never leave an interview room wondering if they liked you. I'll show you exactly how to walk out with total clarity on where you stand and how to force the hiring manager to address any doubts they have before you even hit the parking lot. Let's get your pen and paper ready. This is a long one, but it's the only guide you'll ever need. The Tell Me About Yourself Power Opening. This is the grand opening of the show. In 16 years of recruiting, I have seen more candidates kill their chances in the first 3 minutes than at any other point. Most treat this like a chronological biography. I was born in Ohio, I went to school for business, then I moved to Seattle. Stop. The recruiter doesn't want your life story. They want a professional movie trailer. You should keep this between 1 to 3 minutes max. The formula: past, present, future, with a twist. The present. Start with where you are now. Currently, I'm a senior project manager at X Corp, where I specialize in streamlining cross-functional workflows for remote teams. The past. Briefly touch on 2 to 3 anchors of your career. Before this, I spent 4 years at Y Inc., where I led the transition from legacy systems to cloud-based solutions, saving the company roughly 15% in annual overhead. Notice I didn't just give a title, I gave a result, the future, the hook. This is where people stumble. They don't know how to end. You end on the room. Why are you sitting in front of them today? I've loved my journey so far, but I've hit a ceiling in my current role. I'm here today because your company's recent expansion into the European market perfectly aligns with my experience in international logistics, and I'm ready to help you navigate that complexity. Recruiter insight: do not mention your cats, your marathon training, or your love for cold brew coffee. Keep it 100% professional unless they explicitly ask about hobbies later. Every word should convince them you are the solution to their current headache. Mastering the behavioral catch-all, the STAR method. Any question starting with, "Tell me about a time when," is a test of your storytelling ability. In the industry, we call these behavioral questions because we believe past behavior is the best predictor of future performance. You must use the STAR method, but I want you to use the 2026 enhanced version. S&T, situation and task, the context. Think of these as the background noise. What do I need to know to care about your story? If you tell me, "I finished a project on time," I don't care. If you tell me, "I finished a project on time despite the lead developer quitting 2 weeks before launch and the budget being slashed by 20%, now I'm listening. Give me the stakes. A. Action. The hero move. This is the most important part. Use I, not we. I'm not hiring your old team. I'm hiring you. Describe the specific steps you took. Did you pick up the phone? Did you write a new script? Did you facilitate a mediation? R. Result. The money. This is where the offer is won. Don't just say the project finished. Tell me the impact. Quantitative: I increased sales by 22%. Qualitative: my manager noted that the team morale was the highest it had been in 3 years. The recruiter bonus: add a reflection. What I learned from that was that early communication prevents late-stage crises. This shows you grow from every experience. What is your greatest weakness? The honesty trap. I cannot believe companies still ask this in 2026, but they do. Most candidates try to use a strength disguised as a weakness. "I just care too much," or "I'm a perfectionist." As a recruiter, when I hear that, I mentally check out. It feels fake. The strategy: genuine but not fatal. You need to pick a real weakness that is not a core requirement for the job. Example: if you are applying for a data analyst role, don't say you're bad at math. That's fatal. But you could say you struggle with public speaking or that you tend to be overly heads down and forget to give status updates to the wider team. The recovery: spend 20% of the time on the weakness and 80% on the remedy. Because I know I can get sucked into deep work, I now set update alarms on my calendar every Friday at 3 p.m. to ensure all stakeholders are in the loop. It significantly improved my team's workflow. Why our company? The research test. If you say because you're a leader in the industry, you've already lost the room. It's generic. I want to see deep research. Before the interview, look up the company's mission statement, their latest press release within the last 3 months, their CEO's LinkedIn activity or recent interviews. The answer: I saw that you recently committed to a net zero carbon footprint by 2030. That resonates with me because I've spent the last 3 years optimizing supply chains to reduce waste. I want to apply my skills to a company that actually walks the talk. You aren't just looking for a paycheck, you're looking for a mission. Why are you leaving? The professional pivot. This is the gossip test. If you trash your old boss, I'm wondering when you'll start trashing me. Even if your current workplace is a toxic dumpster fire, you must remain the bigger person. How to frame the exit. The growth narrative. I've had a wonderful 5 years at X Corp and I'm proud of what we built, but I've reached a point where the opportunities for further growth are limited. I'm looking for a larger platform where I can scale my impact. The opportunity. Pivot. I wasn't actively looking to leave, but when I saw this specific role at your company, I realized it combined 2 of my core strengths in a way my current role doesn't. I couldn't pass up the chance to discuss it. Recruiter. Tip: keep it brief. The longer you talk about your old job, the more it sounds like you're making excuses. Answer confidently, then go silent. Silence is a power move. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? The interviewer is looking for 2 things: ambition and retention. They don't want someone who wants to be stagnant, but they also don't want to hire someone who will leave in 6 months. The safe high-value answer: in 5 years, I hope to have mastered the complexities of this role and be seen as a key contributor to the department's success. Ideally, I'd love to be in a position where I can mentor new hires and perhaps take on more leadership responsibilities within the team as the company grows. It shows you're a stayer, but you're also hungry. Teamwork and the social IQ. Question. Questions about collaboration are hidden tests for your social intelligence. The common mistake: I just do my work and get along with everyone. The pro answer: talk about a time there was friction. Last year, I worked on a team where 2 members had completely different ideas on the project direction. I realized we were spinning our wheels, so I organized a whiteboard session where we mapped out the pros and cons of both. We found a third middle ground option that combined the best of both worlds. The project ended up being a success because we addressed the conflict head-on instead of ignoring it. Handling challenges. The resilience metric. When I ask about a difficult situation, I'm looking for your stress threshold. Key detail: explain why it was a challenge. Most people leave this out. Don't just say the deadline was tight. Say, normally this audit takes a team of 4 about a month. Because of a sudden departure, I had to do it solo in 2 weeks. The action: show your grit. I prioritized the high-risk sections first, utilized an AI tool to automate the data sorting, and stayed until 8 p.m. for a week straight. The result: we passed the audit with 0 flags. Adaptability. The 2026 must-have skill. In today's world, things change fast. I want to know you won't crumble when the plan A fails. The pivot story. Tell me about a time a client changed their mind at the 11th hour or a software rollout failed. The mindset. Focus on your emotional regulation. Instead of panicking, I took 10 minutes to map out the new requirements, briefed the team on the change, and we adjusted our sprint. We actually found a more efficient way to deliver the second time around. The last one: do you have any questions for us? If you say no, you've just told the recruiter you aren't curious, you aren't strategic, and you probably aren't that interested. You should always have at least 3 questions ready. The success category. If you hire me and we are sitting here in 12 months celebrating my first anniversary, what specific outcomes would I have achieved for you to consider me a home run hire? This shows you are results-oriented. The culture category. How does the team handle it when things go wrong? Walk me through the last time a deadline was missed. What was the internal reaction? This tells you everything you need to know about the management style. The management category. What is your personal philosophy on professional development for your team? This shows you want to get better, which makes you a more valuable asset to the manager. The silver bullet secret. The closing framework. You've made it through the 1800-word masterclass. Here is the future-proof closing framework I promised you. Most people end an interview with a weak, "Thanks for your time, hope to hear from you." That's a passive move. You want to be active. Before you stand up to leave, ask these 3 questions in order. The hesitancy question. Is there anything we've discussed today, or anything you've seen on my resume, that gives you even a slight hesitation about my fit for this role. Why? This is a bold, high EQ move. If they say, well, we were looking for someone with more SQL experience, you now have a chance to say, I'm actually halfway through an advanced SQL certification right now. You can fix the problem before the door closes. The next steps lock. Based on our conversation, what are the next steps in the process, and what is your ideal timeline for a decision? Why? This removes the ghosting anxiety. You now have a date in your head. The permission to nudge. Perfect. If for some reason I don't hear back by that Friday afternoon, would it be okay if I sent you a quick, polite note to stay on top of things? Why? When they say yes, they have given you permission to hold them accountable. You are no longer annoying them when you follow up. You are simply following the agreement you both made. This framework shifts the power dynamic. You walk out not as a job seeker hoping for a break, but as a professional peer who respects their time and expects the same in return.